Lake Amistad Del Rio, Texas, Texas-Mexico border. Ancient pictographs of the region depict monstrous bass being pulled from Amistad depths. Are they there?
I don't know. Let's go wet a line, see if we can pull one out.
You're watching 30 Miles Out.
With your host, Ty Sutherland.
This episode of 30 Miles Out is brought to you by Livingston Lures, designed to call the fish to you.
30 miles out.
Welcome to Lake Amistad in Del Rio, Texas.
We are right here before this bridge, Diablo East. We're going to fish the main body of the lake. This is the Mexico border.
Man, the dam length of Amistad is almost 2 miles long, and it's the second largest lake in Texas next to Toledo Bend. It's made of the Rio Grande, Devils, and Pecos rivers. The big one, the entire Texas coastline, the beaches of Texas, are 367 miles long. Well, Amistad's entire shoreline is 851 miles long. Once again, this is a big one.
In the dark, an hour before sunrise. Bam! Bam! About to get ready, loading up. Is that what we're cooking with? We hear them blowing up. Alright, I'm going with the Top Sizzle Junior in chrome and blue. We hear them busting already and it's still dark. Ooh, you see how that sucker just lit up? These Livingston lures croak and light up. What?
This was such a beautiful sunrise, my trip was already made. Man, with all the blow-ups all around us, I figured walking the dog with the Pro Sizzle Junior was the way to go. I was working it and working it and working it. They wouldn't touch it. I later discovered they were feeding on real tiny bait fish.
I discovered that when they would spray these little shad, they were about that big. They were very, very small. So they were not interested in the big topwater plug. Just didn't match the hatch today.
So I switched to soft plastics, and BAM! What? My first Lake Amistad black bass. How cool is that? I snagged him on the Livingston Lure Ninja Stick, Rio Texas style.
Our first Lake Amistad bass, little guy. Knocked the pool out of it though, we won't hold him accountable. Alright, let's see if we can do this again. Right here on Lake Amistad in Del Rio, Texas on the Mexico border.
You ever got a big knot or bird nest in your line while fighting a fish, and all you want to do is cut it out and reconnect the line? The blood knot does it. First of all, cross the two tag ends and pinch the center of the cross section, leaving about 4 inches of tag line on each end. You're pinching where these lines cross to hold an opening. Then take one of the tag ends and start wrapping. And then you're going to go in the front door of the hole you created with the first tag end. Then start wrapping the second tag end the opposite way. And with this tag end, after about 5 wraps, you're going to go in the back door. Each side wraps about 5 to 6 times. So now you have 2 tag ends going through that center point where you crossed them. That's simple. You're going to wet it and then cinch your knot down. And that's a barrel or blood knot. Trim the tag ends and you got a connection that's as strong or stronger than what you started with. I've actually been fighting the fish on the line, cut out the bird's nest and reconnected the lines, and then continued to fight the fish. The barrel knot or blood knot works fantastic in any situation for creating leaders or for cutting out bird nests. Amistad is one of the top scuba diving destinations in Texas. You can see why. The wind was blowing me a little too fast down the bank line, so I decided to stop and rig up an anchor system.
Hold up, wait a minute, let me put some anchor in it.
The wind was blowing hard, so I really just needed to slow down to make a few casts. So I ran my anchor rope through the front handle and through my rope cleat. This will allow me to stop and make a few casts, then drift some more, instead of just blowing down the bank at Mach 5. Theresa was dying to just hang one nice bass. She finally got one on the line, and the little rascal spit the hook. I wanted to troll my DM14, but it was just a little too windy. You've probably seen me use this same bait trolling for bull reds on Lake Bronte. I'm having to stretch and reach way out to get my nose back into the wind. This wind was brutal. These fish were keying in on very tiny shad, big schools of them. So crankbaits were just not working, they were too big. So I started finesse fishing with the Ninja Stick. And this is where I was picking up my bass. Well, there's no doubt that Lake Amistad hosts some monster bass. Not in the cards for me today to pull one out, but there's always next time. Looks like the legend of the Loch Bass Nest Monster will stay a legend. Here in Del Rio, Texas, on Lake Amistad. This episode of 30 Miles Out was brought to you by Livingston Lures, designed to call the fish to you. The new 30 Mile Out gear is in. Buffs, shirts, and stickers. Get yours at 30milesout.com. Use code word 30 miles out and get 10% off your entire purchase at kayakfishinggear.com.
You're rolling.
Teresa's the only director I know that just like turns the camera on. And I'm sitting here waiting for action. Nothing. Just dead.
Action.
Thank you.
What?